Moving on to lipids, more of your fats. They're organic substances. They also supply energy, and they are needed to build tissues, like parts of your cell membrane, things like that. The most common dietary lipids are types of triglycerides. So triglyceride is a type of fat or lipid. Lipids are included in fats, oils, phospholipids, cholesterol, butter, fatty things like that. Triglycerides are found in plants and animals. So these are some words. If you ever have a blood test, they'll run a lipid panel, for a normal checkup, things like that. So you might see triglycerides. It is a type of lipid, and they'll specifically check for that. And triglycerides are found in plants and animals. Saturated fats come from an animal. So like the fat on your steak is a saturated fat. Unsaturated fats are found in something that comes from a plant. So like your vegetable oil that you buy in a bottle, nuts. If you eat nuts, they have fats. They have good fats. That would be unsaturated. And then cholesterol is the same as saturated. Cholesterol is going to be found in foods that come from animals, not plants. What do you use those lipids for? First, those triglycerides are going to be broken down into smaller pieces. Fatty acids and glycerol are the two main ones. The liver then is very important for breaking down of fats. Bile is important for breaking down fats. It can't synthesize, it can break down, but it can't make essential fatty acids. So you need fat in your diet. They talk about fats, and nuts are very good for you. There are good fats that your body needs and uses. Here again, too much. If I eat too much fats, it's going to be stored in adipose tissue on your body again. Liver is important for regulating cholesterol. It's going to make cholesterol. It's going to release cholesterol based on what it's digesting, based on what you're eating, and things like that. So the liver and then your fat stored adipose tissue control triglyceride metabolism. Triglycerides undergo hydrolysis, which involves water, so they undergo hydrolysis to become fatty acids and glycerol. Hydrolysis is a breakdown of your triglycerides. It goes to the lymph, to the blood, and then carried to your tissues. Fatty acids undergo an oxidation to form acetyl groups. Acetyl A is very important for your citric acid cycle. This is going to help with muscle, cellular respiration, very important. Excessive, if I have too much of this acetyl A or CoA, it's going to be converted into ketones, which is somewhat related to an alcohol, lactic acid. Glycerol can enter the citric acid cycle, which there again is part of cellular respiration, or it's used to make glucose. Liver controls the circulating lipids. It synthesizes and can make triglycerides, phospholipids, lipoproteins. Phospholipids also very important for cells. Here, I want to go over this again because I am pretty sure I said it wrong on one of the slides earlier. HDL is the good cholesterol. High density is good cholesterol. LDL is the bad cholesterol. And then VLDL has a lot of triglycerides. It's kind of a comparison. But I do want you to know that HDL has a large amount of protein in it. It's a type of lipoprotein, but you want a high ratio of HDLs and you want a low ratio of LDL. Here's just kind of a diagram that shows how they go through. The main thing I want you to see here is that your fats are very important for the citric acid cycle, cellular respiration. All of your cells in your body need it, and then that is going to be used to break down energy, use CO2, or release CO2 and water. Lipid requirements. How much do we eat? Here again, it's individual. Everybody's a little bit different. A typical diet is going to typically consist of enough fat in it. If you're looking, the U.S. Department of Ag, American Heart recommend that it doesn't go past 30% of your daily calories. I have looked at nutritional labels for this, and there are some foods, especially processed foods that you might buy in a store, that can have like 50, 60% of their calories come from fat. So in a day, throughout the whole day, only 30% of your calories or less should come from fat. Proteins, I'll keep going here. Proteins are polymers of amino acids. Wide variety of functions. Proteins are very important. DNA biology, we talk about synthesizing proteins and how important they are because they are used for almost everything inside of your body. They make hormones, they make enzymes, they make antibodies, they help clot your blood, and so forth. Proteins are very, very important and involved in all sorts of body functions. Amino acids are potential sources of energy. Amino acids are put together to build your protein. So amino acids are smaller parts of your proteins. Where do we get our proteins? Animal sources and plant sources. Big deal right now with vegetarians, vegans, things like that. If someone doesn't eat any animal, any meat, how do they get that protein that they need? Animals contain complete proteins, which means they have all of your essential amino acids. There's 8 essential amino acids in adults. There's 10 for children. So protein even more important in a child as it is in an adult. Plant sources are typically missing one or more of those essential proteins. So they're incomplete or partially complete. Therefore, if you are a vegetarian, you need to know about the proteins that are provided, and you need to eat a combination to make sure that you're getting all of your protein sources. Here is a table, if you remember from biology when we talked about transcription, translation, these are the amino acids that your transfer RNA brings in to build proteins. So here's just a table that shows different amino acids that can be put together. Protein use, here again, a long list. Enzymes, very important for your metabolism. Clotting factors for your blood. Some people who have hemophilia are missing these clotting factors. Keratin, in order for your skin and hair to grow properly, you need protein. Elastin, collagen in your skin and in connective tissue. You can read through all these. All of these things are necessary or need protein in order for these to be produced. Protein is also a source of energy, but it's a later source of energy. Your body's going to break down carbohydrates first before it would turn to protein for a source of energy. Your proteins supply energy after digestion. So amino acids, here again, broken down in the liver. One of the products that is left is urea. And urea is found in urine. It's kind of what gives urine that odor. The more proteins you eat, Your urine will probably have a stronger odor because of that urea that is being produced. And then the deaminated or the other amino acids can enter into energy pathways to be broken down. Here, diagram again. Deamination just means that it's taking out the amine groups, which are Na2. And do notice again, goes to the citric acid cycle, very important for your cells. Requirements. Here again, it varies. Imagine that. Everybody's different. For the average adult, nutritionists recommend 0.8 grams of protein per day, per kilogram, and then pregnant and nursing women need more. So as an example, if I take my weight in pounds, divide it by 2.2, my mass is approximately 62.3 kilograms. So if I take that number times 0.8, I need about close to 50 grams of protein per day. And like I said, that's a recommendation. It depends on your level of activity and other things.